Okay, happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to our little snippet just to answer a couple of the questions that you had on the website. My name is Stefanie Hughes, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist here in the Atlanta metro area. I have been partnering with Muskogee Moms for, I guess, about 2 years. So it's really an honor and pleasure to be invited to answer or offer a little bit of insight for some of the questions that you guys had. I just want to say before I answer those questions that this experience does not replace therapy. If you are in need of therapy, I encourage you, I implore you to seek out a therapist. Therapists are available in many, many different forms and fashions and all over the area. And with new technology, telecounseling is now available, and I offer telecounseling, which is an experience that can be completely virtual via telephone or via video. So I encourage you to make sure that you get in touch with the therapist if you have more extensive questions. So I'm going to answer two of the questions that you guys had on your website. The first one, what do you do for relatives who do not bring Yuletide cheer? What do you do? What do you do when you have those relatives that just continue to breed threads of dysfunction? Well, number one is you have to be in a place of acceptance, because there's nothing that you can do to control or to deter someone from being dysfunctional. But you do have a responsibility for yourself. So you want to make sure that you first know your limits. Know what it is that is acceptable for you and what is not acceptable for you. Once you know your limits, then impose boundaries. So that would look a little bit like if you're invited to the holiday brunch and you know that Aunt Sarah causes challenges when you see her. You may go to the brunch, but your engagement with Aunt Sarah could be very limited. It could simply be limited to Happy Holidays, Aunt Sarah. You don't sit on the same end of the table as she does. And again, you know your limits. If Aunt Sarah starts to get a little heightened, or if she engages in libations, and that seems to cause a challenge every time the family gets together, then you know that that's your limit, and that's when you exit stage right. So know your limits and know your boundaries. Do not avoid people for the holiday seasons unless they have caused previous stress, which has come from a place of trauma. You don't need to re-traumatize yourself. So give yourself permission to exit from that experience altogether if it evokes some type of traumatizing memory for you. That is not healthy, nor is it necessary. It may be that your family simply just needs some time apart so that you can continue to heal from previous experiences. One of the other questions was, what do you do when you're gift giving on a budget? Well, you may not like this answer. However, I'm going to tell you anyway. So the first thing is you have to know your value system. All right. So if your value system is sentiment, is connecting for the holidays, if that's where your value system is, then that's the way that you are raising your children also. If the emphasis is not on materialistic things, don't switch up just because it's the holiday season. If you know you're on a budget, then the most important thing that you need to do is plan and strategize. So layaways are great things to have. It's nothing wrong with them, but it allows you to plan and allows you to stay within your budget. Another way that you can give on a budget is to buy family gifts as opposed to several individual gifts. A great example is a 3-month subscription to Netflix. That's going to cover the whole family. It's not going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Everybody in the family is going to get to watch and see something that they enjoy for their entertainment, as well as do something as a family. And it keeps you, again, within your budget. I think one of the best gifts that I ever got was from a cousin of mine who was raised with me like a brother. He gave me a Christmas card and he wrote me a letter of sentiment in the Christmas card. He could not afford to buy us gifts, but he gave everybody these really, really very nice Christmas cards with beautiful artwork on the front. But the most important thing was the letter on the inside. And so he passed away several years ago. I still have that Christmas card. It brings me so much joy to be able to look back at the letter that he wrote me. It's a way for me to honor his legacy, and it's a way for me to really appreciate and get back to my value system, which is sentiment and connection. Now, when you're working with a budget, again, you have to be honest with yourself. You cannot allow the stressors of societal norms and other people trying to influence what you do guide you during this season. You have to let your value system guide you and be brave enough to stand in that. You'll be able to teach other people the value of the season if you are brave enough to stand in your truth. So I encourage you to do that. Make sure that you stay within your budget. Make sure you give yourself permission to stay within your budget. You don't want to be stressed out come January 1 because you've overspent. So stay focused, stay with your value system, and find, again, non-traditional ways to still honor your loved ones and friends by gift giving, but do it in a very unique and a way that stays within your limits. Again, happy holidays, everyone. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will leave my social media links as well as my website in the information below. And I wish everyone a very peaceful and wonderful holiday season. Do take care.